Wow, we've got a full house here. This is so wonderful to see. Good evening. My name is Tom Ancona. I'm an associate director here in the McKean Center. And I'm so glad you could all be with us, whether that's in person with this wonderful group here in Main Lounge or virtually. For those of you who are in person, we've got the computer here because we do a live stream, since a lot of our donors are alumni of the program who live all over the country and all over the world. So a silver lining of the pandemic is this. So thank you. I'm the McKean Center advisor to the Common Good Grant Program. This ceremony is one of my favorite evenings of the year because it's a celebration of all of you, our program leaders, our committee members, our awardees, our donors, and so many of our community partners. Common Good Grant represents the best of both. Our students learn deeply about Maine and our communities. They see the ecosystem of nonprofits and foundations that meet so many community needs. They build meaningful connections that hearten with alumni around the world, as well as with local community members. There are two things in this program that hearten me the most each year. The first is that at this ceremony, we get to see the tremendous impact that our community partners will have with these grants. The second is that throughout the year, I have the privilege of seeing and hearing what our network of over 320 Common Good Grant alumni have done after they leave Bowdoin and leave this program. The impact they make is exponentially larger than the thousands of dollars directly granted through the program. All of you inspire me so much with that. It's wonderful to have so many of you again in Main Lounge here tonight and have Bowdoin Logs in an award ceremony. For those of you who were here last year, us having Bowdoin Logs was sort of the first event we were able to have catering at in over a year and a half. So it's great to be here again and be able to have this treat once again. I do wish for those of you that are joining us on Zoom that we were able to send Bowdoin Logs to you as well, but we haven't figured out how to do that yet. Before we get started, I have a few people I want to thank. First, can you please join me in giving a warm round of applause for Bowdoin Dining for providing the Bowdoin Log. Next, I want to thank all of our program supporters, both donors and speakers. You make this program such a formative experience for our students and provide them with the means to grant out these funds to our wonderful community partners. Thank you. Thank you also to this year's Common Good Grant Committee for the tremendous work you've put in. In a year where things ramped back up at Bowdoin, this group of students has met weekly to learn about nonprofits and philanthropy and do incredible work. They reviewed 44 letters of intent, read 22 full grant applications, conducted 11 site visits, funded 9 incredible organizations, and met with over 40 donors. I'm exhausted even listing all of this off. They were incredibly thoughtful and passionate throughout the program, and I hope we'll be fortunate to have many of you in next year's program. Thank you to the committee. Last, and certainly not least, I want to thank Kavi and Sophia for being amazing Common Good Grant leaders this year. Without their thoughtful hard work, this program would not be what it is. I'm pretty sure this is the first year in the history of the program where we've had 2 leaders that aren't seniors. They worked incredibly hard behind the scenes to learn the program, effectively lead the committee, build our educational program, and be great connectors between our students and our speakers. Thank you both for all of your work this year. I can't express how much I've valued our time together. And with all that, I'm going to get out of the way and I'm going to hand off the program to Kavi and Sophia to get this program moving. Thank you so much, and thank you for joining us.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us for the Common Good Grant Award ceremony tonight. My name is Sophia. I use she, her pronouns. I'm a junior studying English and economics, and I'm one of the student co-leaders for the Common Good Grant program this year.
Hi, my name is Kavi Sarna. I'm a sophomore and I use he, him pronouns. I'm a mathematics and computer science double major, and I'm the other co-leader of Common Good Grant. The Common Good Grant Program was established in 2001 by a generous alum. The donation, which provides over $10,000 annually, initially served as the pool of money from which grants were allocated. Due to the early success of the program, committee members received a high volume of applications every year from worthy organizations. Unfortunately, the committee lacked the funds to support many of these organizations in their efforts. As a result, the Development Committee was added to the program in 2004. In addition to gaining valuable experience in fundraising and donor cultivation, the Development Committee has had a huge impact in expanding the scope of the program by raising additional funds to supplement our yearly base fund. The program has been incredibly successful, funding a total of 191 grants and awarding over $410,000 to nonprofits in the Midcoast Maine area and throughout Maine. The Common Good Grant Program has not only given Bowdoin students the opportunity to gain experience with grant writing, fundraising, and nonprofit operations, but has also allowed them to connect with their community and with each other. Through sitting on panels about current issues in Midcoast Maine to conducting site visits with organizations, we have been lucky enough to get to know this community. Furthermore, our committee has created categories for grant applications to ensure we fund a diverse portfolio of organizations. This year, our categories were environment, agriculture, sustainability, adult and youth education, and development health, basic needs, and arts, history, and culture. Additionally, we committed to funding at least one BIPOC or Indigenous-led organization.
As our committee members will discuss in their speeches, we had many incredible letters of intent and grant applications to consider this year. Thanks to our generous donors, we were able to allocate more than 3 times our initial funding base to 9 fantastic nonprofits here tonight. We'd like to thank the McKean Center for their continuous support of our program and the larger communities that we as Bowdoin students belong to. Kavi and I would like to thank Tom for being a wonderful advisor, supporter, and collaborator through this and our previous years with Common Good Grants. We'd also like to thank our student committee for their weekly dedication to the program. Committee members showed up almost every Wednesday night, ready to discuss our work or engage with our speakers. Thank you very much. Thank you as well to all of our generous speakers who sat on panels throughout the year to teach, advise, and mentor us. We learned about grant writing, development, and philanthropy more broadly, and received great advice from you all about working in the nonprofit section. Thank you for dedicating your valuable time. We'd also like to thank our incredibly generous donors. Your invaluable contributions are advancing the common good in our communities. Thank you. Leading Common Good Grant has been an amazing and rewarding experience, and Kavi and I are so grateful to share the culmination with you all in this 2023 award ceremony. Next, Charlotte is going to provide some insight into the work of our grant committee.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Charlotte, and I'm a first year intending and studying environmental studies and government. I'm excited to have you guys all on campus to celebrate and reflect on the committee's work this year. This year, we increased outreach to local organizations and pre-orientation trip sites and received 44 letters of intent. We are very excited to increase the base grant amount this year in hopes to increasing the impact from each funded organization. The committee is so grateful for the generosity of our donors in helping us reach the funding goals this year. As Kavi has already mentioned, but similar to previous years, the committee used funding buckets, which we committed to funding at least one organization from each of the following categories: environment, agriculture, and sustainability, adult and youth education and development, health and basic needs, and arts, history, and culture. This is in addition to our commitment to fund at least 2 BIPOC-led organizations, one of which is Indigenous-led. And these buckets have allowed us to fund organizations with a variety of missions and while helping committee members understand the complexity of issues facing Midcoast Maine. Ultimately, we were able to fund 9 organizations this year, including Bath Housing, Caithness River Education Alliance, Church of Safe Injections, College Guild, Gardeners Growing Healthy Communities, Immigrant Welcome Center, Midcoast Literacy, Portland Housing Authority, and 3D Stores. We are so grateful for all the organizations that have engaged with Common Good Grant this year. Evaluating the grants has created an impactful learning opportunity for the committee members. It's encouraged me and my fellow committee members to continue to seek out further opportunities in the nonprofit space and continue to be engaged with the community in and around Brunswick. We are so excited to see the impact that these organizations will continue to have. I'll now pass it off to Pranav to talk about the work of the Development Committee.
Everyone, my name is Pranav Vattamudi, and I'm a first-year student and a prospective neuroscience and philosophy major. I'll be speaking about the work of the Development Committee this year, with you this evening. With regards to development, our goal is to communicate and develop connections with donors, over our mutual interest in aiding organizations and making change within our local communities. In addition, of course, to speaking with donors and learning about their commitment to the common good and our committee's commitment to the common good as well. Our generous donors help us make a significant and positive impact on local organizations within our community by adding to our grant funding. Engaging in grant development allows committee members to obtain very valuable experiences in fundraising, understanding the nature of philanthropy, and better understanding the grant process. Committee members like myself have thoroughly enjoyed the interactive experiences we have had with donors and nonprofit leaders. The stories we have heard and the memories we have made are special, and we look forward to taking what we have learned and use it to propel us forward and make even more significant contributions in the community. Of course, there comes challenges in the process, such as the art of the ask. We began during winter break practicing this art with some of the wonderful individuals from Bowdoin's development office and more. While challenging at first, these initial practices allow us to expand on what we have learned and provided us with the tools necessary for success. Soon enough came time for us to meet with the donors, Common Good Grant, alumni, and community members, and we were prepared. We were able to secure donations as we met with several donors throughout the winter and early spring. The goal of providing the committee with the greatest possible funding capacity by decision day. And when decision day came, we were very pleased knowing we could fully support the asks of organizations. One of the most memorable moments as a member of the development committee was learning about donors' stories and motivations regarding why they support the Common Good Grant Program. And that is something many of my peers can attest to. Of course, we came into meetings with a slight bit of anxiety despite all the preparations we have done. And I know I did. How does one possibly ask someone for money? And that being a potentially large amount. It's very different than when you ask your parents for money, obviously using puppy eyes and saying you'll do anything for it. Now, we're very grateful that the donors we all spoke with eased us into a genuine and thoughtful conversation regarding overall interests in nonprofit volunteering and development. Rather than a mere financial transaction, conversations with donors were a kind of storytelling on both ends. We had opportunities to hear donors' stories and perspectives, and we had a chance to share our stories and why we wanted to join the Common Good Grant Committee in the first place. Not only did it enlighten us, but it reinforced and reiterated our combined interest for the common good, which just goes to show how powerful storytelling and conversation can be. And after many conversations with donors and generous anonymous donations, we were able to award over $32,000 to 9 amazing nonprofits. We are so grateful for the generosity and engagement of our donors, as these grants will have a profound impact on these organizations and the Midcoast community for this year and many to come. I'd now like to thank our donors who graciously offered their time to speak with us and contribute to this great program. Tom Ancona, Jessica Bay, Lydia Bell, Steve and student Bellarose, Megan Bellarose, Zinzele Best, Margaret Broadus, Brownie Carson, Caitlin Callahan, James and Winnie Chan, Doug Collins, Samantha Cogswell, Shelby Davies, Jeannie Davis, Vin and Cheryl Takara, Rich and Ann Fudge, Hugh and Surrey Hardcastle, Paul Hastings, Felicia Hayter, Matthew Henry, Elise Hawking, Michelle Johnson, Chris Knight, Ed Jr. and Nancy Langbine, Jordan David Lance, Audrey Leland, Leslie and Josh Levy, Cal and Sally McKenzie, Chanel Matthews, Sean Morris, Mitsuki Nishimoto, Steve Peck, Kerry Person and Mark Newman, Chris Pierce, Mike Rannon, Sarah Richards, Sarah Seams, Stephen Shee, David Sperber, Marina Stam, Kathleen Sykes, Ryan Towngater, David and Tina Treadwell, and Rachel Turkle. Thank you so much to all of our donors. The funds you have contributed this year will make a significant impact in the organizations that have received tonight's grants and the community. I would now like to hand it off to Marco to talk about bathhousing.
Hi, everyone. My name is Marco. I'm a sophomore here at Bowdoin. I'm majoring in math and computer science, and I use he, him pronouns. I'm honored to present bathhousing with an award today. Bathhousing is a nonprofit organization that has been dedicated to enhancing housing stability for older adults, people with disabilities, and families in the Greater Bath area for nearly 4 decades. Established in 1984, Bath Housing Development Corporation was created to address the shortage of safe, affordable housing available to low-income households. And it has since grown to offer a range of programs to support the community. These include ownership and management of income-restricted apartments, housing navigation, administration of the Housing Choice Voucher Program, and Comfortably Home, an aging-in-place program. The grant will be used towards one of Bath Housing's most impactful programs, the Free Rides program, which provides essential transportation services to older adults and people with disabilities in the Bath area. The program offers no-cost taxi vouchers for medical, pharmacy, and food needs, in addition to free City of Bath bus tickets. By combining these 2 transportation options, the program ensures maximum impact and destination flexibility, especially given the limited service area of the city bus. The program serves individuals across 140 rental units, providing access to essential services that would otherwise be out of reach for many. We're honored to award Bath Housing a grant to support the continued success of their program, which has made a significant difference in the lives of countless individuals in the Bath area. Please join me in congratulating Deb Keller and Bath Housing.
Thank you so much. This is really exciting to be here with you all. Housing should be an opportunity, not an obstacle. And unfortunately, for many people right now, that's just not the case. But for the people that do live in Bath Housing apartments, we do try to go above and beyond. And the Free Rides program is just one of those ways that we do that. We couldn't do it without the support of our community and the support of all of you. So thank you.
I would now like to introduce Kira to introduce captains.
Hi, everyone. My name is Kira. I'm a sophomore at Bowdoin. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm majoring in government and Asian studies. And tonight I have the honor of presenting the Caithness River Education Alliance with a grant. Since 2000, CREA has worked to foster ecological awareness and promote environmental stewardship among students and educators. They offer a variety of programs to foster this connection with the natural world, working with local schools out of their Thompson-based Ecology Center for nature-based programming that allows students to experience hands-on science learning. CREA's yearly nature immersion summer camps connect local kids with the Caithness River, fostering enthusiasm about science and nature. They also offer broader community education out of their Ecology Center through speakers, guided nature walks, and community activities. This grant will be used to incorporate more Indigenous education, history, culture, and environmental knowledge into CREA's summer day camp. Building off of weekly discussions about Indigenous history of land use, both by CREA and within Maine, with this grant, CREA will be able to work directly with members of the Wabanaki community to develop a purposeful curriculum that incorporates Wabanaki history and language to build understanding of Indigenous people and practices. We are so proud to support the Caithness River Education Alliance, and I'd like to invite Caroline Elliott up to the podium to accept this Common Good grant.
Thank you so much. We're so excited about this opportunity, and I wish Jenny Mueller, our camp director, could have been here. She met with the students, but she has a sick child at home. But we love bringing the natural, or I guess connecting children with the natural world, and there's so many benefits that we know about. And it only makes sense that we would incorporate into the learning that takes place. We introduce our campers to nature-based play and nature-based crafts and nature-based science. And it only makes sense that we would now extend that to incorporating learning about Indigenous, traditional, ecological knowledge. And we're really excited to have connected with a mother-daughter team who do this kind of work, and we hope that they will be coming to our camp this summer and sharing their knowledge with our campers. And as we all know about trickle-down economics, and the a different we think about trickle-up education, because we all know that children are often educators of their parents, and so we like to start young and hope that our campers will go home and teach their parents. So thank you very much for this opportunity.
I'd like to welcome Isabella to present her next award.
Hello, everyone. My name is Isabella, and I use she, her pronouns. I'm a sophomore at Bowdoin College, currently studying English and Government and Legal Studies. I am extremely honored to present to you the Church of Safe Injection. Founded in 2018, COSI is a harm reduction nonprofit based in Lewiston, Maine, that fights for the health, rights, and dignity of people who use drugs. As a CDC certified syringe exchange program, the organization not only provides safe using supplies, but also fundraises for recovery residences and advocates for policies that support overdose prevention and safe use sites. With compassion, COSI recognizes and works to address the intersectionality of poverty for access to healthcare and homelessness. Last year, the Church of Safe Injection distributed 64,000 clean needles and served 1,100 unique people who use drugs in Lewiston County. They provided a total of 957 referrals to STD clinics, overdose, aftercare, and other recovery-related services. They're currently working to expand their services to other areas in Maine, including Bethel, Dixfield, and Rumford. The Common Good Grant will be used to purchase life-saving supplies and basic needs necessities, such as vitamins, socks, and hygiene kits, to be distributed to their clients. Congratulations once again to the Church of Safe Injection on this award, and please welcome Maggie Lavoie to accept this award on their behalf.
Hi, everyone. So I apologize, my speech is a little longer than some other people's, but when you choose to name your organization the Church of Safe Injection, you often have some explaining to do. So my name is Maggie, and I'm our Director of Operations, and I'm joined here with my colleague, Randy, sitting here. He's something of a legend in our community, and I just want to acknowledge him today for overcoming 20 years of homelessness, 36 years battling substance abuse, and he will be 4 years sober in July because of harm reduction. I want to express our sincere gratitude to Bowdoin College and all the wonderful people involved in making the Common Good Grant just an incredible process as a participant. I know I don't speak alone on that. Our late founder, Jesse Harvey, explained the philosophy of our work in 2 short sentences. People who use drugs do not deserve to die, and every overdose is a preventable policy failure. Saying that people who use drugs do not deserve to die shouldn't be, but is, an incredibly radical statement in our culture. Right now, we have a whole team of harm reductionists working throughout Androscoggin and Oxford counties, centering drug users' experiences, spreading radical love, and holding each other closely, even as drug poisoning continues to ravage and devastate our community. We run Androscoggin County's only drop-in day center for unhoused people that serves as a safe space for people who are currently in active use to get supplies, connect with healthcare services, and receive judgment-free support. We've also taken our collective love and bravery to the State House through legislative work this session. We're currently defending a bill to authorize safe consumption sites in Maine and another to decriminalize drug use. Every day as the state remains idle, we are taking action to save each other's lives. We are fully run by people who use drugs for people who use drugs. The fight is far from over, and we're so lucky to receive support like this grant that makes our work continue to be possible. So just a reminder, people who use drugs do not deserve to die, and thank you so much for this opportunity.
I'll welcome Ben to come up next.
You got it. Still on that. Or no, we're about- I've got them.
Hello, my name is Ben Johnson, and I'm thrilled to talk to you today about College Guild. Based right here in Brunswick, College Guild is committed to providing free, non-traditional education to incarcerated individuals across the United States. What I appreciate most about the College Guild is its unique approach to education, which focuses on correspondence courses through traditional pen pal relationships. Volunteers create personalized lesson plans for each student and send course materials via mail with no internet or technology required. The College Guild offers courses on a wide range of topics, including writing, math, science, and the humanities. And its program has been recognized as one of the most successful prison education programs in the country. The Common Good Grant Committee is honored to support the College Guild's mission through our grant, which will be used to cover the organization's postage costs for sending course materials to their incarcerated students. By providing access to education and personalized learning experiences, the College Guild is empowering individuals to transform their lives, even behind bars. We are excited to be part of this important work and look forward to seeing the positive impact that the College Guild will continue to have on incarcerated individuals across the nation. Please welcome Mary Malia to accept this award on College Guild's behalf.
It's really exciting to have been selected as an awardee of this grant this year. There is a lot of competition for grant funding, and to be one of 9 is really just such an exciting email to open up one day from Tom. But I in particular am so proud of College Guild and the work that we do. College Guild's been part of the Brunswick community for over 22 years. Probably half of our volunteers currently come from this area, including Bowdoin College students who've been part of our volunteer reader group for a long, long time. And there's people sitting in this room who volunteered to be a reader at College Guild. This year, we'll send out upwards of 6,000 pieces of mail to people who are in prison. We have 600 active students, and College Guild is their connection to the rest of the world, to the real world, to people who respect them, to people who think they're funny, creative, and aren't the worst thing they've ever done, who look at them as having somebody, as being somebody who has possibilities. We're sitting here at Bowdoin College, and College Guild is this interesting, different little organization. But being a student means you're somebody who has dreams, you have hopes, you have a promise of a future. And everybody who is a student of College Guild has those dreams, those hopes, that promise just as much as the students who sit in this room today. So thank you for helping support the dreams of people who have to live in prison.
I'd like to welcome Alexandra to introduce our next organization.
Hello, everyone. My name is Alexandra Tiger and I use she, her pronouns. I'm a first year and I intend to study government. I have the immense honor of presenting Gardeners Growing Healthy Communities with a grant this year. Gardeners Growing Healthy Communities' mission is to grow and supply fresh fruit and vegetables to those in Western Maine. After becoming a 501c3 in 2015, Gardeners Growing Healthy Communities opened a new garden in South Paris, in addition to their garden in Rumford. Since 2015, they have provided food to over 14,000 people. Many Western Mainers experience chronic health issues since they are unable to afford good quality food. GGHC responds to this need with nutritious and fresh foods. GGHC has a dedicated volunteer base who run weekly distributions from July through September. This grant will be used towards soil testing in both gardens to evaluate the quality of the soil and the purchasing of early season vegetables from Cooper's Farm, a local grower. Rumford requires a new hanging scale and a sorting table, while South Paris requires irrigation parts and milled lumber to replace raised beds. All these improvements will contribute to a more productive garden and increased morale among the volunteers. Please welcome Bonnie Cooley to accept this award on behalf of Gardeners Growing Healthy Communities.
Idea what in the back.
Oh, man. Alexandra just gave my whole speech. Mostly I was gonna say, and you all know this, you are what you eat. And if you are in difficult financial circumstances, that's not a good thing. And what we try to do is make available the good, healthy food that will help people become good, healthy people. And it's worth doing. We're all volunteers. We all have our own gardens at home. In many cases, huge ones. But once a week, we come together in Rumford and South Paris and pull weeds and harvest crops and get them to the people who need them. So it's a wonderful way to spend a life.
I would now like to invite Ryan to present our next award.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ryan Delaney. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm currently a sophomore studying psychology and computer science. I was given the great opportunity to meet with the organization that I will be introducing today, the Immigrant Welcome Center in Portland, Maine. This organization does amazing things for new Mainers, from giving English lessons to providing access to food pantries and clothing drives. Their center is full of wonderful individuals who are amazingly passionate about supporting their community and providing a safe haven for those who need it. During our site meeting with them, we learned about their large variety of resources and initiatives that expand beyond the city limits. They even gave us a space to discuss the struggles of new Mainers in Brunswick. This grant will be used to expand their already thriving business hub to help immigrant women move into business leadership. The initiative, called Women Lead, will empower women and girls by teaching financial literacy, marketing, and technology, as well as offer them potential office spaces, amongst other things. We're proud to help them reach their goal. Please welcome Bo Grobs, who will be accepting this award on behalf of the Immigrant Welcome Center.
My name's Bob Graves. I'm the Development Officer at the Greater Portland Immigrant Welcome Center. Here on behalf of our Executive Director, Reza Jalali, and our whole staff and board. The Immigrant Welcome Center is producing another event of our own tonight, and so the whole staff is off entertaining a whole lot of other people, but they delegated me to come and accept this award, which we are very grateful to all of you for bestowing upon the Welcome Center. My life has been spent mostly in philanthropy, and I think the experience that all of you are having at being a part of the committee that bestows grants upon grantees is an incredibly valuable experience, and maybe some of you will move on into careers in the nonprofit field. I'm one of the very few people out there that really finds writing grants to be a highly satisfying experience. But I hope that in the process of your deliberations, you maybe recognized how much creativity really goes into the work of a development officer. And so thanks to all of you.
Thank you for coming up. I would like to now invite Olivia Bell to present our next award.
Hi, my name is Olivia Bell and I use she, her pronouns. I'm a sophomore studying math and economics here at Bowdoin College. And today I'm honored to present Midcoast Literacy with a grant from the Common Good Grant Committee. Having visited their main center in Bath, I was able to firsthand hear and learn about the important work they do. Midcoast Literacy has overseen several programs for over 50 years aiming to help adults and school-aged children improve their language skills. We were able to learn about the workplace literacy program they host. Through this program, Midcoast Literacy often works with new Mainers, hoping to improve their literacy skills as they adapt to being part of their new community. Specifically in working with adults, volunteer tutors meet with employees at places like Wild Oats and even here at Bowdoin College to talk and improve not only their literacy skills, but answer questions about cultural differences, hoping to help with their new adjustment. These meetings can happen on the clock, avoiding the time constraints that come with many of these participants having multiple jobs and being unable to make time for these one-on-one sessions if it wasn't this way. Additionally, Midcoast Literacy works with school-aged children to help them make sure they stay up to grade level with their reading, providing them with one-on-one attention to help and the supplies they have collected, essentially forming their own little library, which we got to see in back. This grant will be used to help expand the workplace literacy program and fund other programs. And this is especially needed now as Brunswick prepares to welcome more immigrants to this area. So the grant aims to allow this program to grow and meet the increasing need for something like it. It will not only improve the participants' English language skills, but boost their confidence and help them find and secure job opportunities in the area. Thank you again and congratulations to Midcoast Literacy. We are proud to support them and their work with the awarding of this grant. Please welcome Daniel Burson to accept this award on their behalf.
Do the thing, right?
Yeah.
Thank you so much to the committee. We're extremely grateful and honored to once again be acknowledged by the Common Good Grant in support of Midcoast Literacy's work in the community. The literacy needs of the Midcoast area are changing rapidly. In the past 3 years, demand for Midcoast Literacy's English language tutoring program has expanded by more than 200%. And as has already been noted by Olivia, we'll be receiving a large number of new asylum seekers in the Brunswick area this summer as well, adding to those already growing numbers. Mikos Literacy seeks to respond to these changes with programs that support new Mainers to both integrate further into our community and also acquire employment. The key that unlocks both of these things for these people who are coming to Maine often with essentially no knowledge of this area or of the state of Maine, that key is knowledge of the English language, which many of them begin with almost none of. Our programs, such as the ones being funded by the Common Good Grant, seek to address that in ways that are individually focused and help meet each individual where they are with their language and employment abilities and get them where they need to be and where they want to be for their families. I'm particularly gratified that this grant is coming from a student committee who have selected to support our work, because many of the people who will benefit from the grant are young families where the adults are not much older than the students who have selected this grant for us today and that we're being honored for today. These families have come to Maine in search of a safer life for their children, and we're helping them build that right here in the Brunswick area with the work that we're doing to help them learn the language and connect with all of you, with employers, and with the rest of the state. We're extremely grateful to the Common Good Grant for your support for this important work. And I just want to say a special thanks to the students who joined us for the site visit. It was a wonderful opportunity to talk about the work that we do, and we don't get a chance to do that often enough, and it was so special. So thank you, and we're super grateful to be here. Thanks again.
Thank you so much, and I would like to invite Ryan to present our next award.
Good evening, everybody. I'm the other Ryan. Sorry, I got up earlier by accident. I am a sophomore here at Bowdoin College, studying neuroscience and sociology. And I just wanted to start by thanking our donors again, recipients, and Common Good Grant Committee leaders for maintaining their commitment to supporting the Midcoast community and nonprofits. I have the honor of presenting the Portland Housing Authority with a grant tonight. The Portland Housing Authority was established in 1943 to provide safe and sanitary housing for low-income citizens of the greater Portland area. Today, it owns and manages 12 housing developments with over 1,219 units serving families, elderly, and people with disabilities. This locally owned program administers the Department of Housing and Urban Development Lease Housing Program that provides rent subsidies in the private market for qualified applicants. This program currently provides approximately 1,800 Section 8 vouchers to low-income residents and operates with an annual contract authority of over $15 million. This grant will be used to fund their Cheetah project, which supports youth leadership and job skills development through community building activities. Part of the Common Good Grant funds will also be allocated for the youth to budget and apply to events and internships. And the other part will be used for food for youth training events across 3 Cheetah teams. And the last portion goes towards the administrative costs in relation to the grant itself. Past Cheetah youth groups have applied funds in a variety of different ways to support environmental impact projects, community building initiatives, food security work, youth and community programming, art initiatives, and many others. A distinct feature of this project is that adult mentors do not direct the work of the youth, but rather guide and support their work in order to ensure that they are growing their skills and following their best practices. The Common Good Grant Committee had an opportunity to meet with program leaders earlier this month, and this meeting demonstrated the continued need for this program within the community for many generations to come. It also displayed the organization's long-term impact by providing aspiring youth with valuable career experience that will translate to service within their own respective communities in the Portland or wherever they choose to take their talents for generations to come. We are so happy to present the award to Emily Mancini Fitch on behalf of the Portland Housing Authority, and we invite her to say a couple words. Thank you.
Another short one, sorry. Thank you very much, Ryan. Neuroscience and sociology, I should have known when you came to visit. You'd fit right in with us.
Thank you so much for this award. It means so much. Portland Housing Authority, it's one of the largest housing authorities in the state. It's great to see another housing authority at the table as well, amongst all the other amazing organizations here. We're working with some of the lowest income families and some of the most needy populations. The Cheetah Project that this grant will support is just one of the many things that we do at Portland Housing Authority, that all housing authorities are doing all around the country to support some of the neediest populations. So it's great to be included with you all, to be supported in the work that we're doing, and to have the committee recognize that, supporting the skills development growth through service learning and hands-on work is really, really important for our young people, and to see it in action with your own grant committee as well. It's wonderful. Thank you so much.
I would like to now invite Emma to present our final award.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight to celebrate these incredible organizations and donors. My name is Emma Gibbons. I'm a sophomore, double majoring in neuroscience and government and legal studies. I had the privilege of meeting with Through These Doors through the application process, and I have the honor of presenting them with the Common Good Grant Award tonight. So Through These Doors is a domestic violence resource and advocacy center that collaborates with local partners and other community members to promote safety and challenge systems of oppression and violence. To that end, this organization offers a 24-hour helpline to people affected by domestic violence, as well as an emergency shelter, transitional services, support and education groups, safety planning, advocacy, support and assistance with legal matters. In 2022 alone, the organization answered over 8,000 helpline calls, supported over 1,000 through the court process, and held 272 certified domestic violence classes. Through these interactions with our community, Through These Doors has targeted the root causes of domestic violence and supported individuals in gaining independence after being in abusive situations. This Come Good grant supports women in gaining autonomy and leaving unhealthy relationships by empowering them to regain control of their lives through mechanisms that they seek out. These efforts are met through a transportation fund designated for reducing transportation barriers to legal, medical, and other crucial support for survivors in crises, and an unrestricted victims fund allocated for the individual needs of abuse survivors. The transportation fund not only provides short-term solutions to transportation shortages by providing taxi vouchers, but also supports long-term solutions by fixing cars to allow them to be functional, granting Through These Doors clients greater autonomy. The effort to achieve long-term solutions is continued through the Unrestricted Victims Fund, a fund through which survivors can have their needs met through solutions they help create, empowering them to retake control and demonstrating the community of support around them. We are proud and honored to be able to provide Through These Doors with a Common Good grant to achieve those ends. Unfortunately, there is no representative from Through These Doors tonight. They were unable to make it. However, we should just give them a hand. Yeah, congratulations again to Through These Doors and all of the awardees tonight. And we're going to welcome the McKean Center Director, Sarah Seams, to the podium to close this year's wonderful Common Good grant ceremony.
Good evening, everyone. I don't know if you noticed, but as students came up to give out their awards, Tom got to hand them checks, and I was kind of hoping there'd be one more that I could just hand out. It looked very fun. So I'm Sarah Seams. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm the director of the McKean Center here at Bowdoin. I see so many familiar faces in the room, which I love, and looking at the names in the program of not only our committee members, some of whom I've gotten to meet with myself, but also the donors, the alumni involved, the guest speakers that they have. You can see how broad this program is and how many people it touches. And as I looked specifically at the donor list and seeing that over half of the donors this year and in most of our recent years have been alumni of the program. I think it's a real testament to the experience that they have here as students and what they're going to go on and do. And I sit there and I smile at this list because I know what a lot of these folks are doing now. One of them, Lydia Bell, some of you probably know, class of 2000. She was the founder of our office when we were the Community Service Resource Center before we became the McKean Center in 2008. She had an AmeriCorps position on campus and really was the first paid staff person at the college to help support what we called community service, or now called community engagement at the time. And she was the first person to run the Common Good Grant program, and she's still a donor of the program today. Caitlin Callahan is listed here. She's a class of 2011 grad. And she worked in our office after she graduated for 3 years. She's now the Chief Advancement Officer at Urban College of Boston. So she is doing fundraising work for a remarkable institution in the Boston area now. We have folks on this list who are in medical school, who are in law school. The students that you saw here today, which is only a fraction of the committee, are your future colleagues, your future neighbors. They are future voters, they are future nonprofit employees, they are going to be your elected officials, they are going to be on the chairs of the boards of organizations like you see here. They may be running organizations like these. And certainly I think they'll be donors as well. So to our donors, thank you for modeling what it means to be an active citizen in your community and to care and to give back. And for the organizations who we heard from tonight, thank you for showing our students what the common good means in action. We have the privilege of talking about it at Bowdoin and really thinking critically about it. And when they're actually able to go out and see it firsthand from you all, that's the real learning experience. So thank you for that. I think we'll close off now. I heard the bells earlier. That's our building. For those who don't know, the McKean Center is in the chapel. So we hear the bells all day, which I love, but it's often the timer telling us to move along. So we're gonna let you move along with your evening. One last thank you to Tom Ancona, who runs this program and has for the past, this is your 8th year, 7th year with the program. So it's really transformed in that time. And I'd love to take a minute just to thank Tom. Feel free to stay and chat, and thank you so much for coming.